Hey friends, how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing so well. So welcome back to another Sunday Brands video. If you guys haven't been following along, I have been making a new video every Sunday that goes through a list of brands that resell really well online for good money. So we've covered different things from the 50 best brands to 50 brands not to pick up to anthropology brands, and we're going through different categories as well. So today we're going to look at REVOLVE brands that resell for really good money. So REVOLVE is a store online that sells all these different brands. They compile pieces, they curate pieces from lots and lots of different brands and resell them, sort of like Anthropologie does. They're very similar in that way, but REVOLVE is really popular right now, and I have found that REVOLVE has been selling way better than Anthropologie and similar stores like that. Another example of this sort of style of store would be like Tuckernuck. Tuckernuck is also a curated website with lots of great pieces, but they also make their own pieces. REVOLVE does the same. So we're going to be covering 50 brands today that sell for great money from REVOLVE, including some of their in-house brands, which are ones that they produce themselves. So it's going to be a great video. If you guys have been enjoying these brand videos, they take so much time and work. So if you would go ahead and hit that like button for me and subscribe if you have not already subscribed, those are the best and easiest free ways to support my channel. So now we're going to jump into these 50 brands from REVOLVE. I am also going to be putting up on the screen, of course, the tag pictures because those are so important and so helpful to see and to know and to recognize while you're out thrifting in the wild. So let's jump into it. It's going to be a good one. Here we go. So here are 50 great brands from REVOLVE to resell. Now, this is not going to be a all-encompassing list. There are so many brands on REVOLVE, like thousands of brands. So these are just 50 ones that I found to be great sellers online on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari. So take that as you will. Brand number one on my list is Katie May. Now, Katie May makes dresses, mostly formal styles, and these dresses can resell for over $100. So I was looking at comps, and I put in my notes that they were selling for $100 plus. So great brand to know, and also if you find it, you can make a really good amount of profit on this brand of dresses. Then we have number two, which is Lovers and Friends. Now, Lovers and Friends is one of REVOLVE's in-house brands. So Lovers and Friends is a little bit less expensive than some of the other brands on this list, but they make really sexy, kind of just like smaller items, not small in size, but that too, but more so like less fabric, very short, more skimpy, but also like cutouts, low cut, those sorts of things. And so they're really popular amongst like teenagers and people in college. But these I was seeing reselling for around $25 to $50, sometimes $75 if you have like a long dress. So the more fabric, the more expensive. But for this brand, I would say right around $25 to $50. But Lovers and Friends, it was really popular for a while, but I haven't seen it moving for quite as much lately. So that's something to know. And this is a brand that I have found more frequently than a lot of the other brands on this list. And I've also found it in the bins a couple of times. So it just depends on what piece you find, but things can sell for really good money from that brand too. And then we have the brand LPA, which is another in-house brand. So one that they produce themselves. Now, really girly pieces from this brand, really cute. I was seeing that a lot of things that were kind of just like more like run-of-the-mill pieces were selling for $50. So dresses, even $50. And then if something was new with tags, it was selling for like $100. So new with tags is always better, but this is one of those cases in which if you find something new with tags, it's worth almost double the amount of money than if you find it without. So this is the one that I would definitely look up styles before purchasing, but is a super nice brand too and could go really well. Number 4 is For Love and Lemons, which I have only found once and I have been looking for it all the time. But this brand, I saw that small pieces from them, so like maybe just like a bra top, or they have some like, mini skirts, things like that, were only selling for around $35. But again, the more substantial or selling was new with tags, it was selling for over $100. So more fabric is better, of course, but then also new with tags pieces were selling for sometimes like $200. I've sold the only piece I ever found for $200. So it just depends again on what kind of condition the item is in and how much fabric there is. And number 5 is Girlfriend. So Girlfriend spelled without some of its vowels, but it is a denim brand. So not only jeans, but some dresses and like tops as well, but usually they're denim or leather. But their jeans can do really well. And I had on here that jeans were selling for around $50 to $75. And so for me, I feel like that's a great price to buy and sell a pair of jeans at, especially if you can get a low cost of goods. So not too shabby. I'll go with it. And I've not found this brand, but it's definitely one I am looking for. And then we have Assignment. And Assignment is another in-house brand, but this one is expensive. This one can resell for between $100 and $200, which is amazing. And Assignment is very like Elle Woods kind of a vibe. It's a lot of different like tweed pieces and like sets, skirt sets, but a little bit of a modern twist on them, but they sell really well. So if you can find Assignment, that's like $100 pretty easily. It might take a little bit of time to sell, but a lot of them are in really cute colors and are really sought after. So I would be looking for it if I were you. And then we have number 7, House of Harlow 1960, another in-house brand. And this one was actually, I think, a collab with somebody in Hollywood. I forget the name of the person, but they have shoes, dresses, and bags, and they were also selling for $100 plus. So at least $100 for a piece from this brand. And their shoes were selling for a lot of money. So I would definitely, it's not a shoe brand that's ever been on my radar. So I definitely want to share that as well. But that's a great brand to be on the lookout for. Number 8 is Tularosa. And I have found and sold Tularosa before. I think I sold it for around $75. It was like a short mini dress that was ruffled. But Tularosa, roughly girly pieces. And you're looking at really $50 to $100 for these pieces. And again, the more fabric and newer tags, the more you're gonna get. And then we have Ronnie Kobo. Now, this was very interesting to look into, but they had a lot of dresses, things with shoulder pads, things that looked vintage but weren't vintage. So I love picking up vintage things in general. I'm wearing a vintage Pooh shirt today. But I do think that a lot of people will look over vintage without giving it a second look. And this is one of those brands where it may look vintage, but it's not, and it's worth a lot of money, and you want to double check tags for sure. So for this one, I found that their pieces were selling for $100 plus if they had stock photos. Now, stock photos are super easy to come by, and I know a lot of sites have kind of prohibitions against them, but also I think it's fine personally. So you have to feel out how you feel about it. But I find stock photos really easily. If I take a really well-lit photo of a piece and then do a reverse image search using the Google app, I have found that usually will be able to pull up the stock photos of the piece, or at least give me a clue to find what the name of the piece is, and then work my way through a rabbit trail to find stock photos. And for me, it's worth it because stock photos make my life so much easier and make my closet and my store look so much better when you're searching. So Ronnie Kobo, if you don't have stock photos, they weren't selling for nearly as much as the ones that had stock photos. So this is one of those times where a stock photo or seeing it on a person and not just on a mannequin or on a wall is really going to help you. And then we have brand number 10, which is Eves, which is another in-house brand. They have quite a few of them, but they make a lot of outerwear and jackets, but they were another really good brand. So $100 plus, at least $100 for a jacket or a coat. And again, this one too, stock photos were essential. If you didn't have a stock photo, they were selling for like $35 to $50. But with a stock photo, selling for over $100. So definitely something to be keeping in mind. Stock photos from Revolve are really helpful. And also they use like some of the same models for every single picture, so people can recognize that model right off the bat, and then they know it's a Revolve piece. And that's another thing to keep in mind for all of these is if something is from Revolve, you want to put the word Revolve in your title for any of the items, because people are searching for Revolve pieces so frequently, and some of these brands they might not know right off the bat are from Revolve. That's why I'm doing this video, because it's so hard to know all of these brands. But if you don't put Revolve in your title, you're really handicapping yourself. So definitely do that. And then after Eves, we have Majorelle. Now, Majorelle is another in-house brand, and they have a lot of short dresses. I've seen other people talk about this brand as well. I've never found it. Oh my gosh, I want to find it so bad. But some of these were selling for $50 to $100, which again, if you can find it at the right price, is a really good amount to sell for. And then number 12 is Ganny, and I have found Ganny in the bins. I found it at the regular thrift. I found it at a buy-sell trade store. But Ganny, if you can find the newer label, it's definitely worth more. So I'll put up both labels on the screen, the new one at the top and the old one down here. You want to look for the new one, not the old one. It's worth so much more. They're more current styles, and the older label just doesn't sell for as much. So the newer label is definitely worth more, really quite frequently around $100 for that newer label. And then the more uniquely like feminine pieces, the better. Like those will sell for more. And then number 13 is Ours, and Ours is another in-house brand. I thought about making a separate video just about in-house brands, but I decided to incorporate them together. But Ours offers edgy apparel for women, and so they have a lot edgier of a style. And then these pieces were selling between like $25 and $75. So not as much as some of the more like formal pieces, but edgy just isn't usually worn amongst the clientele that will spend a lot more money on their pieces. It's usually a younger clientele. So I think that accounts for the difference there. And then we have the brand Aster. And in my experience, Aster sometimes can sit. And you want to be careful about what pieces you pick up because some of them are sold at places like Nordstrom Rack or probably even like TJ Maxx, Marshall's kind of a thing. So Aster can be sold at Revolve, and the pieces that are sold at Revolve do well, but not necessarily all Aster, okay? Hear me on this. Aster, the dresses do really well, and I was seeing sold comps between $25 and $80. A lot of the more high-end comps were definitely for like dresses or longer pieces, and then 25 was more like tops. Then we have 15, which is Raye, R-A-Y-E, another in-house brand. Shoes. This is shoes, and then heeled sandals were selling for like $50, even if they weren't new with tags. And then boots were selling for $75 to $100. So definitely a brand to keep in mind. I've never seen it, but you best believe I'll be looking for it now is because even sandals selling for $50 I think is really good. And then number 16 is Retrofit, which is another really amazing brand. Now these are so pricey, these dresses and jumpsuits. They even have gloves that they sell. I saw a pair of gloves that sold for $90. They were like elbow length and like black with like embellishments and jewels, but $100 for a pair of gloves is crazy. So Retrofit, I saw almost everything was selling for $100 and up, and then also lots of pieces for like $400 to $500 sold prices. So the kind of crazier and more extravagant the dress, the better, but Retrofit is one of those brands that I've not found, and I've been talking about it in so many videos, but you definitely want to keep it in mind. And then number 17, we have Camila Costello, which I hope I'm saying right. Again, give me grace in the comments, please. It's a lot to read so many brands that you don't know. But this is another in-house brand, but it's a collaboration with a Brazilian blogger. So it's a really fun kind of really sexy vibe, and they have a lot of cutouts in these pieces, and there's dresses, there's swim. Pieces are selling between $50 and $100, so another really good one to know. And it had an interesting tag that even if I didn't know this brand, I would look up the tag just because it looks like it's a nice piece and a nice tag just from how the tag is made. I'm saying tag so much, but you know what I mean. And then number 18 is Dundas by Revolve, and it's another in-house brand because it's by Revolve. It offers sexy tops, bottoms, dresses, and outerwear made from shiny fabrics, sequins, denim, leather, and even chains. And so these pieces were selling for $100 plus. So another one that you definitely want to know because anything that can sell for $100 is something that you should at least have heard of and should be on your radar. Number 19 is Amanda Up Richard. I have found this brand twice. The first piece sold for over $100. The second piece is still listed. And the comps for this brand are everywhere. If the piece was sold at Revolve, again, it's worth more and really reselling for around $100. But if you find like a top or an older style or a piece that wasn't sold at Revolve, those aren't worth as much. So that's something to keep in mind with this brand. Number 20 is Privacy Please, and this is another in-house brand. It's Revolve's underwear and sleepwear brand. And for being underwear and sleepwear, the comps were still good. They were reselling for around $30 to $50. So I still thought it was worth including, and it is another in-house brand that I think you should be aware of. Same thing with 21. Super Down is an in-house brand. It's on trend and affordable and very kind of sexy. Super Down is like one of their most affordable lines, so they're not going to be reselling for as much, which is why it's a little easier to find, I find. But resale comps were around $25 to $50. $50 more, elaborate or more substantial pieces. Then number 22 is another in-house brand. It's Lakadame, which is another in-house brand. It's what your sexy professor would wear. So a little bit academic, lots of like collars and button downs and things like that, but really cool style actually. And a lot of those pieces were selling for $50 to $100. So definitely, again, worth knowing. And it's beautiful pieces. I think that brand is actually really, really fun. So I would definitely take this video as a jumping off point and go and look up some of these brands, at least look them up on eBay or Poshmark and see what pieces are out there being sold right now, because I think that yes, this is a good starting spot, but this is not an end-all be-all of knowledge, and so you should definitely be doing your own research too. Number 23 is Sangha Style, another in-house brand. This is a collaboration with superstar fashion blogger Amy Song, and they make a lot of dresses and like travel pieces, but comps were like $50 to $150. So great comps and really, really cute pieces. Then 24 is NBD, No Big Deal, another in-house brand. It's a transitional brand from day to night. Comps were $40 to $100. I found one piece once. It was a little romper. I found it in the bins. I think I sold it for like $80. So definitely a good one to know. And even like less substantial or small pieces like a little romper still did really good for me. And number 25 is Weekend Stories. And again, another in-house brand. $50 to $100 for luxury loungewear. So this is kind of, think like along the lines of Skims or Cozy Earth, things like that. This is more like you're gonna lounge around the house in it, hence Weekend Stories, but still worth a good amount. Then we have Alex New York, Alex with an I, and these were selling for $50 and up. Then we have Faithful, the brand. I really have wanted to find this brand, but when I was looking at comps, I was actually kind of not really impressed as much as I thought I would be. A lot of the comps were selling for $50 to $100, which I thought it was more for this brand actually. But I think it's because I've seen a lot of people picking up this brand from places like TJ Maxx and Marshalls and reselling it. Pieces that are sold on Revolve, again, are worth more than those ones. But Faithful the brand is really like pastels and girly dresses and gorgeous pieces. So it's really pretty pieces, but they're not selling for as much as I thought. But still, $50 to $100 is really great. So keep that in mind. And then 28 is Anna Nata, which is another in-house brand. This is casual wear and traveling comfortably. It's really like boho and beachy vibes. Really gorgeous. I love this brand. But $50 to $100 for these pieces. Super great brand to know. Number 29 is Isabel Laurent. Very, very good brand. Isabel Laurent makes very expensive pieces. Shoes and dresses are the categories you want to know from this one. And things were selling for over $100, sometimes hundreds of dollars. So a really good one to know. They also have Isabel Laurent, I don't know how to say it, Etoile, Etoile. That's not gonna be worth as much. That's more of like a diffusion kind of level. Then number 30 is a Goldie, which is sold at Revolve. And a Goldie makes jeans, denim, really great jean brand. Comps were around $50 and up. So another one that's more of like on the $50 level. Number 31 is Love Wave, which is another in-house brand. They make cute swimwear, cover-ups, and more things in that kind of like beachy vibes. And this brand was selling for around $30 and up, which is a little low compared to the rest of the list, but also it's swimwear. But if you could find it, I think it'd probably be worth reselling because a lot of times, at least at the thrift stores I am aware of, and I know usually the beach and like swim pieces aren't marked up as much as regular pieces. Then number 32 is Alohas, which is shoes. I love Alohas. I've not found them. They're super cute shoes, really trendy styles, leather, even like sandals are really good resells on this one. Things were reselling $60 to $100 and up. So 60 was kind of like the low end. And these are really beautiful shoes. So definitely ones to know. Number 33 is Marissa Webb. There's a lot of ruffles in this brand. And man, they had some beautiful pieces. Again, more substantial dresses, the better. $50 to $100 and up for this brand as well. Then number 34 is Selkie, which makes a lot of gorgeous, really like puffy sleeve dresses with like baby doll styles. But there's lots of fabric, lots of like tulle and organza, very princess style dresses. And actually my sister, she's getting married this summer. Her wedding dress is from Selkie. This is a great brand to know because a lot of people are loving this brand, and even just casual dresses from them resell for over $100. So we're looking at $100 and up. I would say even for some of their like wedding dresses or longer dresses, we're looking at like hundreds of dollars. So really beautiful brand. And then number 35, we have Michael Costello by Revolve. So in-house brand because it's a Revolve kind of collaboration. But this is like gala worthy, really feminine and sexy looks for the modern woman, and very, really nice long dresses, things like that. It's around $100 for reselling this brand. And then number 36 is Mackage. Such a nice brand. They make outerwear, jackets, and coats, and they sell for hundreds of dollars. Resell for hundreds of dollars. Like, if you find a leather jacket or a big puffy like winter coat, hundreds of dollars. Really great brand to know. Number 37 is Spanx, and Spanx is one of my favorite brands to find and resell. They make jeans, they make, you know, like shapewear. Shapewear can resell for around $30, I would say. And then jeans, I've sold a couple pairs of jeans for around $50 to $60. So I said for Spanx, right around $50 is what you're expecting to make from reselling it. Number 38, could be pronouncing this wrong, is Reva Rich. I think. But they make a lot of sequins, feathers, embellishments, really ornate gowns. This is like an event. You're going, it's very extra. And this is definitely $100 plus. Hundreds of dollars you can resell these dresses for, and they are worth good money. So definitely know it. I had not heard of it, and I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it is a good brand to resell. Then number 39 is Jonathan's Simka, and again, around $100 for this brand. Awesome. Same thing with number 40, Aparis, outerwear, jackets, coats, and these were really like faux fur heavy and fluffy, a little bit different than some of the other jacket brands that they carry, and these were also reselling for around $100. Number 41 is Commando, and this is more like a lot of the pieces were tight or leather or a lot of black, and then these were reselling for like 25 to 50, so again, lower in comparison to some of the other pieces, more affordable in general, but still a good one to know. And then number 42 is Norma Kamali, and I feel like I have passed on this brand so many times. Some pieces, if they're outdated or not sold at Revolve, or just like, I think she might actually have a diffusion line too, those are not worth picking up. Norma Kamali, in my opinion, but Norma Kamali, her dresses and swimsuits with cutouts were all reselling for like $100. So this is when maybe you just need to look up the style that you find before picking it up, but some of her pieces can do really, really well. Then we have 43, which is Love Shack Fancy. I've talked about them before. They have really feminine, girly pieces. There's dresses and swim from them, the floral, the ruffles, and these pieces resell for $100 and up. If you find like a little bra top, it might not be as much, but on the whole, around $100, and a lot of times even more than that. And then number 44 is a new to me brand, which is Patbo, which is really exciting if you find it to resell. They're very extra, beautiful, elaborate, like beachy but elegant dresses. So you're wearing them somewhere. There's a place you are going when you are wearing this. Even though they look kind of beachy, they will resell for hundreds of dollars. So I have on here at least 200, like 200 plus for Patbo, which is great to know. And so that one is definitely one to keep in mind. That's one of the highest resale values of this whole list. And then number 45 is Caroline Constas, which I love and have heard great things about. They had a lot of ruffly pieces, a lot of bustier kind of tops, and they were all reselling for like $100 to $200 plus. Great brand to know. If you can find it, it can resell for tons of money, over $100, easy, which is amazing. And then number 46 is the brand Elliott with 2 L's and 2 T's, all caps. Really good brand to know, and this is, to me, is kind of like the epitome of a wedding guest dress. They just look like you're gonna be a guest at a wedding. I don't know how else to describe their kind of vibe, but dresses were reselling for around $100. Again, amazing comps, and something I'd be really happy myself to be selling. Number 47 is another swim brand, which is Lspace, and they make, I think I've talked about them quite a few times, but swim and then like cover-ups, things like that, and they were reselling for around $50, so another good swimwear brand. And then another one, this is one of the higher end pieces to resell on the list, is Bronx and Bonko. Again, event dresses. So what I'm saying, the more fabric, the longer the dress, the more embellished, the more things going on, usually the better for the resale value. And these dresses were reselling for over $200. So $200 and up, sometimes hundreds, like $400, $500 for a dress, which is really crazy, but also great if you want to resell. So great brand to know. Number 49 is Shona Joy. These, again, are dresses reselling for around $100. Gorgeous pieces. Really a brand that I think you should look into because it's really nice. And then number 50 is the last one on the list, and that is Saloni, which is bright, colorful dresses and pieces and skirts and things like that. And they retail for hundreds of dollars, and then they resell for $100 and up. So at least $100 for a piece if you can find it from Saloni or Saloni. And again, one that you should definitely know and at least recognize based on these tags that I've been showing on the screen. So those are the 50 brands from Revolve that we're covering today. I definitely could make a whole nother list because there's so many out there that resell for good money from this brand. Please let me know in the comments down below. I know that there's so many more. So if you know of other brands that you've resold from Revolve, drop them in the comments. Use this as a resource to learn and to also help others learn these brands. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, it's a lot of work to put this together. So if you liked it, give it a like, and also hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys throughout the week for more thrifting content and reselling life, and then I'll be here again on Sunday with another brand video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and until the next video, bye.